Welcome, peeps, to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. We're on Gamefound and checking out the Hunters AD 4092. Ooh. Do you like your campaign games? This is like a 30-hour campaign, replayable 2 times as there's 2 endings, 2 real paths to go through. Indeed, with some random encounters here and there to mix it up and all that stuff. Cooperative, yes. Solo, yeah. You're going to have to play 2 characters if solo, though. And it's calling itself a Renaissance post-apocalyptic world, so... Ooh, it'd be interesting to find out how it went post-apocalyptic in this alternate universe, alternate timeline or whatever. Lovely concept art across the page here. The map looks fantastic. I think the map is final, and you can tell it is. Lots of detail gone on that. Minis, everything we're seeing here. Now, on the playthroughs, you'll notice that they have clear bottoms, which hopefully it is going to be that. And I'll explain why they need to do that, but... Yeah, so cooperative adventure, you're going to be monster hunters. It almost feels like a cooperative Witcher game in the stuff you are doing. It is true, 1492 is the time. Now, you've got these interesting characters, but it almost feels like the most interesting characters are the ones in the expansion box. I mean, this guy, a lance correct? It's a double-handed sword, isn't it? DPS. Huntress, range character. The double A board to hold your cubes, though. I like the cubes are colour-coded between the enemies, but I would have preferred if they had some translucency to them instead of this kind of block colour. But I do appreciate the card art, though. Art isn't really finished. There's a lot to do, actually, in the game when it comes to art. And you can use experience points to buy different cards, as you are going to be using cards in combat, and the cards will then let you roll dice and stuff like that. And you can do actions in your turn. I don't like the fact that move is an action. I think move should only be an action if you are moving quite far. But I feel like you should be able to do at least 1 free movement and then attack. I don't like that if you move 1, it takes away one of your actions. I really don't like that at all. If I had this game, I would totally gamify it where moving 1 is not a move. You get a free movement action on every... So that's what it should be. Because if you've got someone who's got good movement, they get that first, let's say, 2 squares free, and then they can like use another whatever bonus to get further. Then they can really get around the back of someone really easily. But and I don't care if I balance the game by having movement as an action. It's dull. It really is punishing when you feel like you've got 1 square that taxes you, especially if you're melee focused. Just saying. Medics or healer with a one-handed sword. Interesting. Everyone is supposed to be a monster hunter, and I guess healing back then. I don't know why he doesn't have a saw. But I like the fact that he's got the beak mask on his belt and he's not wearing it. It really annoys me when they bring characters out wearing that mask, because it's such a lazy miniature, isn't it, to put a mask on someone like that. I really like this mini of the sorcerer. I don't know why they've gone green with sorcerer. Shouldn't she be purple if she's magic based? I mean, come on. Green? Green's for hunters, isn't it? Well, she does have a bird, I guess. It's more like her familiar, isn't it? So this is what you are. You're a party then, and you're going to be a party of a wagon. And the wagon also represents a crafting station, so you can be crafting armor, potions, and such like. Coming in the gate though, on the first day, you got 150 equipment tiles. These are nice. They each have different shapes, and these shapes have to fit within your board, because your board, the space on your board acts as your bags. So the Zweihander double-handed sword here is taking a lot of room up, and I like the fact that you can put augmentations on here. For example, monster grease you can put on, which probably going to give you more damage, and Ignis, which probably is a touch of fire, so you can set people on fire with a sword. So I like those two kind of. So basically, you're not just crafting armor, you're also enhancing them, so that's great as well. And these stations that you're looking at here, you can upgrade them and get better crafting stations, so your wagon board gets increased. It has its own, it's like its own character where you can level it up and increase your crafting stations and things like this, which is delicious. I do love the boards though. They have this wonderful smoke, almost like an orange smoke passing through. The attention to detail is wonderful. I love how they've done the art on the page. It's really good. So yeah, crafting is going to be a big component. We can kind of see a little bit of this. Most of the stuff that is going to be crafted in this world, and even if you're visiting shops, you're not potentially going to get stuff. You're mainly going to be buying stuff that you can craft and stuff. Or maybe you can buy recipes from shops and things like this. Now, these location cards, the way the cards are working, you're going to turn these over so that the map is hidden. And so you basically uncover these locations when you travel to that, because it has a shroud, or it has like this fog of war, as you might call it, which you need to go down the map to uncover what the map will become. Nice custom die with a custom miss icon on them, I think that would be. And we've got an example here of a card which has a market there, which is selling steel, leather, mushrooms and leaf. This is just for crafting, of course, and there's monster fats and furs. This is all for crafting, isn't it? So at the market, you're basically buying crafting gear. Now, scenario cards, you are not going to see these on one full playthrough. So you can basically, if you are playing through the campaign, make sure you tag or section away the ones that you've seen. So if you do go back and play it a second time, you know you're not going to see these again. And event cards, these are kind of cards when you're traveling on the world map. They can be road events, if you like, and field events and things like that. But we've got a road card there, Path of Hunter. We've also got a town card there, Old Friend. You can see it has a little bit of nice bit of lore, and it gives you a couple of options there. The town card gives you an A, B and C. So nice that it has this kind of interaction, you can say, so it feels a little bit more role play. Now, enemies themselves, I like that the cards are tarot. You've got a nice big bit of art. You've got the health and the initiative. They're calling initiative something else. Perception, I don't know. It's initiative anyway. The higher that number, that affects the turn order. And each of the enemies has a programming. So you do the first thing. If the first thing can't be done, you go to the next thing, and etc. And 36 enemy miniatures. The beast here, who's grayed out, and a lot of this is concept art, and they need to. They are going to be working on this stuff. Now you can get all this with all these minis for €117 or your regional equivalent. I'm from Ireland, so I know the weight of this. It's, I don't know, $130, $140. I don't know the value of euro to dollar, and I'm in Mexico. So anyway, miniature-wise, it does feel like it's the Witcher game with all these beasts that are coming from. I mean, the game is coming from Poland. The writer of The Witcher is from Poland, and a lot of the monsters are kind of, you might say, Polish folklore, question mark. The Wraith, I love the art there. Imps, werewolves, giant rats. It has a little bit of D&D bestiality about it. It's just the way they're drawn reminds me of The Witcher, things like this. Now you've got bandits and wolves, which are, you know, you've got 6 of them. I'd like to see a stretch goal where they get a little bit of a unique something to them, please, question mark. But I like the fact you are fighting not just beasts and animals, but you know, there's some kind of fantasy items like the ghost, fighting, demon, werewolf, lycanthrope, giant rat mutation. I like this, and you've got people as well. So you've got a nice mix of different enemies. I think it would be nice if the enemies were sectioned off. So beast, you know, undead, demon, because if it was like that, I think it would be nice to have your player board where they had their favorite type of enemy and they got an extra reroll or an extra die in combat against those types. That would be delicious and give you a bit more meaning of a character. If they did that, bring something from Hexplore game over, because I think that's really nice. Now, the huge tome of maps, this is fantastic because you've got this real beautiful art of the locations. It does look really, really cool. This is why it's important to have translucent bases so that you can see through the art, and it would be much appreciated if they did it, because one of the massive things Mansions of Madness idiots there is doing these massive black bases when you just need clear bases because you don't want to cover the art. So yeah, delicious attention to detail on everything you're seeing here, and they've got some unique add-ons which we'll see as we go down too. So now the Hunter 117, there isn't another pledge, but there is going to be another pledge. There is going to be one. Now there's a hero add-on. This is nice, isn't it? You get a crossbowman and a witch. Witch is a really interesting character for me. It's about hexing them, weakening the enemy, so it's a bit more support. I love this character. And, you know, her favoured would be humanoids, wouldn't it? That trying to kill witches, that'd be great. Crossbowmen likes undead. You know, you could easily put this stuff in. So yeah, you would 100% probably want to get some extra heroes, wouldn't you? Metal coins are shoo-in. You definitely probably want to get them, don't you? I mean, the reason I always say you probably want to get these, because if you're a snob like myself, you want all the stuff that's on it. You want to go for the whale pledge, because when you bring people to your table, you want to show them how great crowdfunding is, that you get all these things, and you know, players love these things. Dice, you might want to get these depending on how many players you're planning on having to the table. Pack of minis, that is, you get all these in the box, but it says if you just want to come in here and buy these minis that with the game, you can do. The map, it's interesting. This map isn't in the box anyway. I mean, it's only €5. It's pretty big though. The big map world poster. So yeah, upgrade your wagon. Look at the plate mail. I love the fact they've shown you some kind of high-end gear. Plates, fantastic, isn't it? Develop your hero. Yeah, you're going to get experience points. Buy new cards. Craft and enhance your equipment. Loads of side quests. Again, it has a replayability. In the FAQ, it does say this: you can play the game twice and completely see different quests when it comes to side quests and things like this. And again, if you play your character a second, you're going to want more different heroes. So there is that. And then, so you've got going around the world map, and you've got these tactical missions in locations with the book with the art, which is looking delicious. Now, On Table's done a fantastic job. I highly recommend her channel. She has the best cinematography of any Kickstarter channel when it comes to playthroughs. I think she's the best in the business. I'm glad to see she's covering this game. And you just need to see all the sexy art shots she does of close-ups of the board and all that stuff. And all that good stuff. You can see on this splash screen the clear bases. I really hope they do that. I know the clear bases can make it hard to paint these if you're going to paint them. But yeah. But yeah, there's a nice selection of videos that you can do, and On Table there has a Polish version of it too. Rulebook's out, which is nice. You can check it out and see how it plays. You can see a bit more of the art here. Nice. And Who Are You? They have published 3 games, so they have a little bit of experience, and you can see the shipping is maximum shipping €53, which is, well, I say that I'm looking at the rest of the world there. Australia, New Zealand at 59, but the shipping here has all in, and there's no all in pledge yet, so we'll just have to see. Do not deliver to Russia, and Belarus is the only countries they won't deliver to. That's really good. I mean, Belarus, if you didn't know, it's Russian for Red Russia. That's what Belarus means, Red Russia. And they are basically assisting Russia, aren't they, in the Ukraine war. So, slap of the hand there. But potentially, if there was no war going on, they are shipping this to every country in the world. I mean, there is wars going on out there, you know, Saddam. And I shouldn't be laughing, but yeah, I mean, are you delivering to these war zones? I don't know. Yeah. Why are you laughing? I guess it's a British thing that I picked up after living in England. That you laugh at sad things. It's laugh or cry. That's how it is. Oh, and there's one more thing to mention. You can stretch pay this beauty. So if you haven't got the... if you've been pledging a lot, or you don't have the budget to back this, you can stretch pay it, which means you pay over a certain amount of months and you don't get charged interest for that. And for me, it's way better than just putting your money straight in anyway, because it's good to balance stuff out, especially if you get surprised by something that you don't know is coming out. I do like Gamefound though, that it does show you kind of the schedule that's coming, so you're not potentially going to get surprised. Whereas Kickstarter still is rubbish letting you know what's coming out in the future. Just absolute rubbish job Kickstarter does. Anyway, so it's looking absolutely fantastic. We highly do recommend it. It looks wonderful. We love post-apocalyptic, but we like the post-apocalyptic Mad Max style, and having a medieval one is a little bit weird. It doesn't quite it's not quite that interesting, but if you put a sorcerer and a witch in, that sounds great. I'd love to play it. I'll be recommending it to my play group anyway. And man, it does look really good. But you know, there's this. Do we need another campaign game? Do we need another campaign game? Excuse me, YouTube channel. You get games sent to you. You get campaign games, and you don't play them because you keep getting games that are being sent to you. That's why you don't play them. You're covering too many games. You're not actually a real board gamer because you're testing games out all the time. If they're not willing to play the whole campaign, why are they reviewing it? That's what I say. But yeah. If you got space for a campaign game, I think this is definitely very interesting to check out. And I think when you check out the videos, you'll be where I am and thinking, God damn, this game looks great. And I think it's definitely worth your time. I'll keep my eye on this. No stretch goals per se, but I'm expecting additional boxes to come. If there's an all-in been rumoured down the page, I wonder how big the all-in is and what kind of all-in. Is it adding potentially more gameplay? So there we are. It's looking very, very good, and I'm guessing the fact that it's coming to Gamefound, it means it's not coming to retail because it's so expensive. So anyway, on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. We do check out all the great board games, and including now D&D stuff, yeah, 5e stuff. But if you check my channel out, I've been looking at dice and complimentary D&D books, even character selection, awesome sticker book. Anyway. Yeah, because I'm not buying any more board games. Any new IPs anyway. Expansions, yeah. And my board game budget's going into roleplay budget. And all that good stuff. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been Kickstarter Radio 1 and 2.4 over on Gamefound. Checking out the Hunters AD 1492, and it's looking awesome sauce. And I would definitely recommend it, and hopefully one of my players in my play group backs it because it looks phenomenal. So thank you so much for watching. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.